Hey, what's up, Internet? So today is February the 4th, and today is special because it's the first day of me building my panhead chopper. That's right, I got a 1962 panhead. I'm going to chop it on up, make it look all nice and cool, so that's what this video is going to be about. Hope you dig. Cheers. Check it out. In this video, I'm going to try to get basically everything welded on the frame that needs to be welded on there. First things first, going to tackle mounting the fender. It's not going to look like that. It looks a little silly right now. Then after that, I'm going to mount the seat. Alright, so this is the last time you're going to see this bike with this front end set up like this. Because, oh yeah, getting it together. 4/41mm early FLH. Boom. But, ooh, I don't know. Maybe I'll Frisco this bike up next year or something like that. And here is where we are at now. Boom. This is the original stance I was going for here. Super retro. If you guys have ever seen the movie Hell's Angels 69, Terry the Tramp's red panhead, that's kind of the style I was going for here. 4/over front end, the wide glides, the fork gators, much better bends on the sissy bar. I dig that. All right, I got my transmission all cleaned up today. And wow, it was a dirty, grimy mess beforehand. And it just looks frickin' wicked pristine right now. Another thing I'm doing is switching out this transmission sprocket to this 25-tooth sprocket because speed and power. 25-toother is on and ready to function, and I'll show you how I got this cleaned up because it's super satisfying. I also have to add that in its stock form, this primary setup tore up my belt here. You can see it grooved a super deep channel. But anyways, the reason was because whoever owned this bike previously decided to put an electric starter kit. And to do that, you have to completely bastardize the inside of this primary in order to get the electric starter gearing fit, which is this right here. So the way I made this tab is to ensure that there's the proper amount of spacing all the way around for the belt to spin freely and even have a little bit of up and down motion as it flaps around without having any damage. Oh, brother, look at that. Yeah. Well, Internet, since I made another tab earlier today, I'm going to drag you along while I make this tab. I'm going to make two of these. These are going to be for the oil tank mount. And then I have to make like a battery floor for it, kind of. Well, yeah, and this is how I cut out the curves, by the way. I learned this in high school wood shop, so shout out to Mr. Swanson if you watch my YouTube videos, because I don't think you do, but if you do, shout out to you, because that's how I make curves all the time now. Alright, this is how we look before the grinding, and, grinding. Alright, and after a little bit of grinding on my favorite new tool right here, and if you're asking why are you making the tab look so artsy, it's because I decided that I want to make this bike look really nice and tidy. And I could have just hacked off this flat stock right here and drilled a hole through the center of it and welded it on, but this just looks a little nicer, right? You know, just kind of cutesy in there. Alright, tabbed up now, just got to make one for the other side and I'm going to weld them up. Bada bing, bada boom. Wayne's right here, and I'm finally getting around to making an exhaust for the panhead. Alright, so the plan is high upsweeps. I've got this front squish and a J-pipe here, and then I'm going to use these old panhead pipes from the stock version, and all the rest of this scrap pipe builder's kit to see if we can make it happen. I think there's enough here to make it work, so let's get after it. Yeah, step one, J-pipe in the squish. Alright. Oh, you guys just missed it, but I cut this long piece of pipe to fit from the squish into right where I'd like the first upsweep to bend on the frame rail there. I found this crusty and dusty old shovelhead exhaust that is going to end up being my first upsweep there. Also, this little hard to see template here is super important for if you want to figure out how to cut your pipes along the center. Tony Fiorucci has a great video on it. I mentioned it before, but that's basically how I found out about it, so yeah. There's upsweep number one. We've got the rear exhaust upsweep working on our way here, but does it look like I'm gonna burn the ever-loving frickety-frack out of my butt right here? Kinda does. Oh well. Getting somewhere now. Also, that's a bad idea if you weld two very straight pieces together. together, because chances are when you smooth it out, it's gonna look a little wonky, but I'm doing it anyways because I don't have any more pieces to work with. And whenever you're doing anything like this anyways, make sure you bevel them out so you get a good penetration with your weld there. So, I'm not a rapper. Damn, Gina, we got ourselves an exhaust. Yeah, that's me. Shoo. All right, let's see how bad I'm gonna burn my butt. I have to wear insulated pants. Yeah, and then I gotta weld tabs on there to secure it to the frame. Looks pretty tough though, right? Also, I got this digital angle finder this morning at Home Depot, and let me just say, it is phenomenal for building exhaust, because now I know it's perfect. I know it's exact to the decimal, no questions asked. Today I'm going to be making a Jockey shift arm out of some random scrap metal that I have around here, so should be cool. All right, first things first, we got to take this piece of flats tack here, cut it down to length, and then grind all the mill scale off of it, because you don't want to work with this shit once you already started doing it. If there's still mill scale on there, it just makes it so much more difficult. This is what I mean by mill scale, by the way. You can see all like the scratches and pitting in there. Gotta grind all that down so it's smooth and solid, or else you won't get a good metal finish out of it. Okay, now that we're here, the next step that I have in mind is kind of like bend it, but on an angle so it like cambers back a little bit. You'll see. All right, you can start to see my vision come to life. I've got the stainless rod, or the steel rod welded on there, and I've got to shape it up on this, obviously, but this is where it's going from here, and then the bippity bop's gonna sit right there, then it's gonna be all shaped around that. It's gonna look kind of cool. I know what you're thinking, what are those? But it doesn't have to be pretty, because I'm gonna grind it all down anyways. All right, so I skipped a few steps, but here's where we're at now. I kind of audibled at the line just a little bit for what I'm gonna do at the top here. I took this bolt and kind of made this like dagger-ish shape with it and welded it through the back there. And I'm gonna have to shape the top a little bit more, but I did this only because I want to have more options as far as what I can put on the top instead of limiting myself to just that wooden knob type of deal. But yeah, this is all just going to take a bunch more metal finishing for it to get it to look proper. Also, Dwayne said this looks like a banana peel, and now I can't unsee it, so banana. Alright, so you can see here I'm just doing a lot of filing work and then some heavy grit sandpaper to kind of get it to all blend together. But that's basically just what you got to do for the whole damn thing. Super time consuming, but makes it look really cool in the end. So here's how she looks now before it's gonna get polished. It's yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Just a lot of sanding, a lot of filing. Made this little amendment here to the clitoral hood up there on top, and I'm really pissed off because I accidentally gouged the surface metal there where this little nubby goes into, but yeah, damn. Oh yeah, 69. Nice. If you've been following along, then you know that the original housings were made by hand, but this one was 3D printed. And that's because I'm exploring the option of having these all CNC machined in aluminum. So first things first here, I got my scrap 16 gauge steel here, got the backing plate design all drawn out, and then I have my panels as well. And I leave this little space here just because that's how wide the cutoff wheel is, so don't want to take any extra material off. Step 2's done. Here are all my pieces cut out. Still looking super rough and jagged, obviously, but onto the belt sander. Alright, I got all my panels here nice and smoothed down. I'm going to go over them with 120 grit sandpaper just so I can prep everything for welding, and then we're going to weld it up. Welding magnets are your best friend here, so if you don't have some, go get some. And we got a clean seam to work with here, just going to weld through it. Alright, she's all welded up. Looks like some sort of Harry Houdini fucking escape contraption, but now time to grind it off and make it look pretty. Grinding noises. Grinding noises. Meow, 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 meow. This is what a grinder sounds like, yeah. And here's what it looks like in the middle of me metal finishing, just like sanding and filing. It's by far the worst part of this entire process because you see how smooth you have to get it to make it look halfway decent. But other than that, yeah. This can't be polished or anything because it's just raw steel, so it'd either have to be painted or chromed, in which case you could get away with not doing as much metal finish, but I don't know, whatever. So this is now the state that we are in. I'm tearing down the bike, getting everything ready for the worst part of this whole entire process, which is gonna be bodywork. You see I got some Bondo there, and I did not weld on this hardtail. This is a hardtail that had been hardtailed probably in the early 90s or even the 80s maybe. But gotta clean up these welds here, gotta clean up these welds here, and just basically make it all really nice and neat, because this is gonna be a pretty pristine looking motorcycle. So, no. How fucking saucy this paint job is. Fucking weird. Damn. Oof.
3, 2, it's recording now.
Welcome to Jackass.
Oh yeah, so this might be how you do it, this might not be how you do it, but this is how I do it. Before I put my clutch assembly back together, I always clean out my plates and my frictions, and I just take some of this Gojo waterless soap, and I just rub it around the steels and the frictions like that. If you let it sit for like 15-20 seconds or so, you can see the oil just fucking floats right off of it, you know? And then once I get the oil all clean off of there, I'll just take some heavy grit sandpaper and just do some of that number all around there. Just make sure they're all nice and scuffed up, and then boom, they're solid to go back in the bike.